everybody, Rebecca here, and thank you for joining me for this very special Yin Yoga class. In this class, we will be exploring the theme of kindness and compassion. You might like to have a yoga bolster or some pillows, a blanket, or some blocks handy. I'm also asking today for your assistance in supporting the Wounded Warrior Project. The Wounded Warrior Project provides physical and mental rehabilitation counseling, as well as career counseling, peer counseling, and yoga to our service people who have been injured in the line of duty. So please take a moment, click the link down in the description, and make a generous donation today. Your kindness will be much appreciated and will help relieve the suffering of others. Now, take a moment, gather up any props that you need, and I'll see you on the mat.
All right, so you can find a comfortable seat, and you can see I'm seated up on my bolster. So if you like, you can sit up on a blanket or on some pillows and just make yourself nice and comfortable. And we'll just allow our eyes to flutter closed and begin to take slow, deep breaths. We'll take this time just to slow down and to settle in and to consider what brought us here today. What brings us to our mat to practice? How does showing up for ourselves, how does it change us? How does it change our day? What have you brought with you from your day onto your mat that you can let go of? Maybe a conversation with a friend or coworker. Maybe it's a list of things that you need to do. Whatever that is, see if you can just loosen your grip. Just loosen your grip on whatever it is that you brought here with you that needs to be let go. And instead of pushing it away, offer it some kindness. Allow your heart to be soft and feel what this kindness feels like inside you. Maybe give yourself a smile. Letting your shoulders relax. And just feeling what it feels like to be here in this body, in this place, in this time and space right now. And then when you're ready, gently allow your eyes to flutter open. And we'll set up for our first pose. So we're going to do a heart opening pose. A couple of options you have here. If you have some pillows or some blocks, you can set the blocks up underneath the pillow in kind of this stair step formation. This is going to be the most gentle expression of this pose. Then sitting close to your pillows, you can lean back over the pillows and the blocks. If you'd like for this to be a little deeper, or if perhaps you don't have blocks available, you can just arrange your pillows flat on the floor and then scoot the base of the spine up to the line of your pillows and very slowly allow yourself to recline back over your pillows. Allow your lower back to be comfortable. So feel free to move around here until you find a comfortable position. Your legs can be nice and relaxed, perhaps flopping out away from each other a little. And your collarbones spread open wide so that your heart is shining up towards the ceiling. And then just let your arms relax. Let yourself breathe deeply into your belly. And as we do with Yin, just allow gravity to do the work here. No effort that you need to exert. Nothing that you need to do. Just allow yourself to be heavy and your chest and heart to open. As you're lying here with your heart open, focus on uncovering and meeting the kindness that is already within you. Meeting this internal kindness is the most important thing that you can do. As that kindness within you spreads from the inside out, spreading out to others and also to the world. Experiencing your own kindness is a kind of energetic embrace that starts within you, bringing peace to yourself and to others. And if there's anything that you need to do now to adjust your sensation or make yourself more comfortable, take a moment to do that now and then return to stillness. When we transition between poses in yoga, but especially in Yin, how we move matters. Moving with care and moving with kindness is important. So as we transition from this pose Make sure that you move very slowly and carefully with yourself. So you can draw the soles of the feet to the floor first, and then begin to roll gently to one side, rolling yourself off your pillows or your bolster and supporting yourself with your hands as you gently press yourself back up to a seated position. We're going to take the pillows around in front now. Pardon me. We're going to come to hands and knees over the bolster. So we're going to be coming to heart to earth pose, also known as puppy pose. So you may like to have your bolster handy here or not. I'm going to press mine out in front just a little. And you'll want to walk your hands, a couple of handprints out in front of your shoulders, keeping your knees stacked right under your hips here. And I'm going to reach out a little farther and then begin sinking my heart down towards the floor, keeping that alignment of the hips over the knees. Now, if you'd like to have more sensation, you can move the supports out of the way and really allow yourself to sink down, allowing your forehead or maybe even your chin to contact the mat. So find the place here where you think you'll have a level of sensation that you would like, and make yourself comfortable. Once you find your way into the position, again, just relaxing, letting gravity do the work. Allow your heart to sink down, considering here what makes you vulnerable. How do you deal with that vulnerability? How do you allow your heart to open with compassion? And if there's something here today in your practice that feels like it's blocking your heart, can you allow it to sink down and be received by the earth? Offering whatever is constricting the heart into the arms of the earth, a big container that's there to absorb anything you need to let go of. Allow yourself to continue to soften. If you need to make any adjustments now and then return to stillness, you can do that. Allow your breath to be deep. And if thoughts or emotions arrive, just allow them to flow out through your heart space and into the earth, making that offering of compassion. Moving slowly with kindness, pressing into both palms, beginning to slowly rise up, maybe coming back through tabletop, finding any natural movements here that feel good as we transition into our next pose. So bringing the pillow or bolster in front of you now. I have a couple of options for this pose. One is a wide-legged child's pose, and I have my blanket here, so I'm going to move this out of the way. So if you'd like to choose this wide-legged child's pose, you can bring your pillows or your support right in between your legs here. And then allow yourself to stretch out long over your pillows or bolster. If you're like me, maybe removing your glasses and turning your head to one side. If you'd like to deepen this sensation just a little, you can take or a little bit, or even a lot actually, you can take your feet and rotate them outward, widening the knees a bit, and then lowering down onto your support, coming into a supported frog pose. You'll see that with your feet rotated out, this opens the hips quite a bit more. So when you've chosen which variation you would like to try, and remember, you're always welcome to change if something becomes too deep. Allow yourself to become still. Focusing on releasing the hips. Focusing on opening. Softening. Breathing deeply into the belly. Feeling how the breath extends in all directions, front and back, and side to side. Feel how your heart is supported here by your pillows or your bolster. Consider how you also support others. Throughout our lives, little is accomplished completely alone. And if we do reach out and touch others, and the things others do also reach out and touch us. Sometimes this is a personal gesture, but other times it's just like there's probably someone else who built your house, or someone else who fixed the road that runs in front of your house. It may not feel like it. In these ways, we are all supported. Allow yourself to feel this sense of support, this kindness that you receive from others. If you have your head turned to one side now, you might turn it to the other side. And then take another deep breath. And we'll begin to slowly move out of this shape. Perhaps taking your hands next to your body, pressing yourself up, moving the knees in, perhaps moving the feet in. And once you're back up to your hands and knees, you can shift the pillows out of the way and we'll come into a downward dog. So taking the hands, a couple of handprints out in front, roll your toes under, and just begin to gently walk the dog here, keeping the knees nice and bent, just finding a nice rebound pose from that supported child's pose or supported frog pose. When you're ready, you can allow yourself to come back to hands and knees. We're going to come into pigeon pose now. So you might like to get a pillow, maybe like a couch pillow or a block if you have that handy. And we'll use that to support pigeon. You can bring your pillows around in front if you like to have some support when we come forward. So we're going to bring the right knee up behind the right wrist and allow the left ankle to come up behind the left wrist. Really stretch that left leg out behind. And then if you like, you can bring a block or that small couch pillow underneath to support your hip. And we'll start by walking the fingertips up towards the body, really reaching nice and tall with the torso here. And then allow ourselves to fold over. If you like, you can bring those pillows in. And again, you can turn your head to one side here, allowing yourself to relax over your pillows. Or maybe if you haven't got pillows today, just supporting your head on your hands. Begin to breathe into that hip. Some find pigeon to be a very comfortable and restorative pose, and others find it more difficult. And so wherever you are in this sensation, just allow yourself to breathe into the head. Remembering that our goal here is not pain, but just sensation. So if at any time you feel pain in the pose, allow yourself to come out or choose a different pose. If this is a pose of discomfort for you, perhaps reflect on how you deal with this discomfort. Discomfort is a fact of life, and how you deal with that discomfort can be very different and can really determine whether or not we experience suffering or just discomfort. We are feeling a strong sensation here, feeling uncomfortable. Extend yourself some compassion for that. Oftentimes we engage in sending ourselves lots of should messages. I should do this, or I should do that, or feel this way or that way. Just let it be as it is. Wherever it is. And the next inhale, begin to slowly rise up. Shifting any props out of the way that you need to. We'll roll the toes under in the back and begin to slowly move out of pigeon back into our downward dog. Just reflect on what that feels like in the body now, that rebound sensation of the blood coming back into the right leg. And then allow yourself to come back down to hands and knees. And we'll set up for pigeon pose on the left side. So bringing the left knee behind the left wrist, bringing that right ankle up somewhere close behind the right wrist, extending that right leg way out behind, maybe supporting yourself, that left hip, with a pillow or a block. And allow yourself to inhale the torso up tall. And then exhale, bringing the torso down, maybe over the bolster, maybe over the hands. And this time turning your head in the opposite direction. Just beginning with slow, deep breathing. Feeling that sense of openness, that unjudged sensation in the left hip. Maybe considering what you're learning from this sensation and how you can use that learning to help others. How does your experience of discomfort open you to the experience that others may have? What does it teach you that you can use to look at the experiences others have and extend them compassion and kindness? Continue to take slow, deep breaths. Imagining your breath expanding into that left hip. Knowing that with every inhale you take, every cell of your body expands and receives this oxygen, this inhale. If there are any adjustments that you need to make, you can make them now. And then when you're ready, we'll begin to inhale, moving slowly out of the shape, rolling the toe under in the back, and shifting back to our downward facing dog. Maybe taking a nice deep breath here, maybe even sighing it out. As we pedal out through the feet, just experiencing that rebound sensation. And then coming down to the hands and knees and coming back to a seated position. Going to come now into Dragonfly. So we'll open the legs here, bringing the heels out towards the corners of the mat. And you can bring your pillows around in front if you like. And we're going to start by extending over the left leg. So you can choose to do this with your pillows or not. But if you like, you can reach under and kind of pull the flesh out from under the sits bones here so that those bones really connect with the earth. If it's difficult for you to sit up straight in this position, I'd encourage you to bring a blanket underneath your tailbone to elevate the pelvis just a bit. We're going to turn then towards the left side. Take a nice big inhale. And then as we're exhaling, just allow yourself to drape over this left leg. If you like to use your pillows for some support, you can bring the pillows to the inside of the leg or even on top of the leg. And then just allow yourself to relax here. Try to release any tension or holding that you may have in that left leg. And if at any time you like to deepen the sensation, you can move those props out of the way. Or if you like to lighten it, you can bring the props into your practice. Coming over any amount here. And as you relax into this shape, you're just reflecting on what do you do in the face of difficulty? What are your patterns when things get tough? And your ways of dealing with things, how do you think you are like others and they are like you? And just allow your torso to be heavy here. Try to relax and soften any places where you're resisting gravity, resisting the sensation. And again, send yourself some kindness. Just another few moments here. Breathing deep. And then on your next inhale, begin to slowly walk your fingertips back towards the body until you come back up to a seated position. And we'll turn to the other side. So you can bring your pillows around if you like those to support your practice. And we'll turn toward the right leg this time, inhaling to grow tall, and then exhaling, just relaxing over that leg, allowing the right leg to be relaxed. The foot does not have to be flexed. You can point gently. In our usual yang style of yoga, we often try to keep the back straight, moving from the center of the chest, becoming long over the leg. And our yin practice is just a little different, using the weight of the body, allowing the back to round naturally. As you're here, maybe reflect on some challenging situations that you have encountered in your life. Nothing too difficult or traumatic here, but maybe just some little day-to-day things. And how do you use those challenges to help you have more care and more compassion for others? What hardships do you experience? Maybe minor ones. Someone pulling in front of you in traffic, being rude to you at the grocery store. And how do those experiences help you be more open and compassionate with others? And if they don't, how can you transform them? And begin to gently scan the body, looking for any places of tension or holding. And just try to allow yourself to soften. If there are any strong emotions coming up, just hold them gently. Another couple of breaths here. Feeling the stretch in the hamstring, maybe feeling the stretch in the side body and the groin. Just sensation. Just allowing, just opening. And begin to walk those fingertips back towards the body on your next inhale. Coming back up to seated. And then bringing your pillows or support around in front this time. And if you like, you can flex and point the feet. Just experiencing that sensation. And then when you're ready, inhaling, growing nice and tall, and this time leaning forward, just allowing yourself to relax over your bolster or your pillows. Maybe you bring your hands one on top of the other and relax your forehead on your hands, or maybe it feels good to stretch out your arms. And again, just release here, finding any position that invites sensation into the body, but not pain. And just allow yourself to surrender here. Surrender to gravity. Surrender to this moment, to this experience. And a question to contemplate as we hold this shape for a few moments is, how can I allow my heart to be more open to difficult people? There are people in our lives that it's very easy to get along with, people who are very easy to love and to give our compassion and our kindness to. And there are others that are more difficult, either because of their personality or their beliefs or perhaps even their social status. How can we allow our hearts to be more open to difficult people? Allow your body to be heavy. Allow your shoulders to be relaxed. Continue to deepen your breath. And if your thoughts are wandering back to other things, things from your day or troublesome thoughts, just let them go. Come back to the breath. Come back to the sensation, back to this moment. Allow yourself to make that U-turn with kindness, knowing that everyone's mind wanders, everyone's thoughts are unruly. And then perhaps begin to slowly move your fingers. And as you're inhaling, walk yourself up gently from your forward fold. And we'll take the pillow or bolster, we'll move that out of the way. And you can use your hands to help yourself move your legs. We'll come around to lie down on the back. And we've been doing a lot of forward folding, so we'll seek to balance that out just a little. You can bring the knees into the chest briefly if you like. And then we'll allow the soles of the feet to find the floor. And you can take your block or your book, and we're going to walk the heels up kind of as close to the tail as you can get them. And we'll allow ourselves on an inhale to press the hips up towards the ceiling and shift that block underneath the bony part at the base of your spine, the top of your behind the sacrum there. So coming into a supported bridge pose here. And you can snuggle the shoulder blades up under the back if you like, so that the collarbones are spread open and the heart is open here. And then just allow yourself to relax. And along with this theme of kindness, find some kindness here for yourself in this pose. So that may be finding a little different variation. Perhaps you like to walk your feet out closer to the edges of the mat. Let your knees fall in towards each other. Or maybe it feels better for your lower back to bring your knees up or even extend your feet up toward the ceiling and waterfall pose. So just find whatever works best for you here, your best expression of kindness to yourself in this shape. And just allow yourself to relax here, just experiencing that sensation and what that kindness feels like to you inside the body. Is it a warm sensation? Is it cool? When you feel a sense of kindness radiating inside your body, where does it start? Is it in your chest, in your solar plexus, or maybe your belly? Where does it start? Now that you've gotten in touch with that feeling, imagine that you can allow it to expand. That feeling of kindness can expand out through your skin, that it can envelop your whole body and spread out of you, not only into this room that you're in, but even to your whole house, or growing like a great bubble over your whole neighborhood. And then allow that sensation of kindness that's emanating from within you to expand as far as you can imagine. The whole country or sets of countries, maybe even beyond our own earth. Now we'll begin to slowly prepare to release ourselves from this pose. So pressing your palms of the hands into the floor, pressing the soles of the feet into the floor, and then inhaling the hips up from the block, shifting that block out to the side. Slowly allow your lower back to come back in contact with the mat. And then peel one knee and then the other up to the chest, rolling out through the lower back. And then when you're ready, allow yourself to gently roll to one side. And we'll press back up to seated as we prepare for a couple of moments of restorative twist before we end class. So taking your pillows or supports to one hip, you're going to allow the shin of one leg to rest in the arch of the other foot. So here I'm facing you, so I have my left shin and my right foot and my right hip close to the bolster. So I'm going to turn my upper body towards the bolster now. Take a nice deep breath. And as I'm exhaling, begin to slowly lower over the bolster. We'll allow my arms to rest on either side, and then you can turn your head to one side or the other. And we're just going to be here for about a minute on each side. So just find your way into this restorative twist in a way that's comfortable. One last little offering to ourselves, offering of kindness. And if you like, you can stay right here, or you can turn the head in the other direction, getting a little bit of a stretch. And for the neck, some range of motion. So to turn the head to neutral, maybe resting the forehead on the pillows for just a moment. Then inhaling as you press yourself away from the bolster. Coming back up to seated and shifting around to the other side. Just shifting the legs in the other direction. Bringing your pillows around to the other side. And then again, placing one hand on either side of the bolster, turning the torso towards the pillows, and then slowly lowering down. Turning your head to one side. Mm-hmm. Okay, good here. Maybe turning the head in the other direction. allowing yourself to relax and soften yet again. And then allow your head to come back to neutral. And on an inhale, begin to slowly press yourself up out of your twist. And you can move your props out of the way and come to a seated position in the middle of your mat. And before we come to Shavasana today, we're going to take just a moment for a meditation practice called Tonglen. Tonglen is a practice of inhaling the suffering of the world and using our inner light to transform that into something more positive. Then exhaling that transformed energy back out into the world. So you might take one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly if that feels comfortable for you, or you can just allow your hands to rest lightly on your knees. You can close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or allow your gaze just to be lowered towards the floor. And we'll begin by just taking a slow, deep breath. Inhaling all the way to the top, holding the breath there for just a moment, and then exhaling back out again through the nose. Well, this time, as you're inhaling, imagine that you're able to inhale some small irritation or suffering from the world. Perhaps the aggravation of everyone who stubbed their toe today. And now, as you hold that breath briefly, imagine that the light within you can transform that into kindness or love or compassion. And then exhale that out into the world. On your next inhale, perhaps imagine that you're able to inhale something a little bit more serious and suffering. Hold that breath for a moment, using your internal light to transform that into the gold of the world. And then exhale. Now take just a few moments here, breathing slowly and deeply, to use this practice on your own. Imagining any suffering or sadness of the world that you feel able to comfortably hold and transform with your own light. And after your next exhale, allow that practice to be released. And we'll stretch out into Shavasana. I encourage you to find the kindest, most compassionate expression of Shavasana at the end of this class that you can find. Maybe you support your knees with a bolster, or maybe you have a nice comfy pillow you'd like to put under your head, or maybe a blanket that you can spread over yourself. So taking just a few moments of silent Shavasana here in the most comfortable, kindest, and most compassionate and loving Shavasana you can find. Allowing your body to be heavy. And just reflecting on how this practice has changed you. Maybe that's a physical change. Perhaps you feel more open, more loose. Or perhaps it's an internal shift. Allow yourself to just relax. Just receive and notice. Take a deep breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Continue to recline in your Shavasana if you like, or come back up to a seated position when you're ready. You can bring your hands to heart center, keep your eyes closed, your gaze lowered if you like. I'll end class today with a quote from Mary Davis, who says, "We can't heal the world today, but we can begin with a voice of compassion, a heart of love, and an act of kindness." Thank you so much for joining me for this practice, and may your yoga follow you off the mat.